Luka Doncic is going to be a Los Angeles Laker. Now, this is a trade that literally spun around the world, and everybody had no idea as to what was happening here. Luka Doncic was traded for AD from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers, and boy, oh boy, I'm telling you right now, bruh, I did not see this coming. This is something that I think shook up the whole NBA world for good reason. You know, Luka had just recently made the Dallas Mavericks go to the NBA Finals just like last year, and they could have won had they defensively buckled up. And I understand that the main that's one of the reasons actually for this trade is Luka's defensive abilities. That's one of the things the Dallas Mavericks were unsure about. And if you watch tape, you will see it is a little suspect. And having Anthony Davis, I'm not going to lie, does definitely improve that aspect of their game and does improve the Dallas Mavericks as we speak now, because the moment that AD comes out, their perimeter check is going to be a lot better. The help that Kyrie Irving is going to get with AD is going to be a special match, special combo, if you will. And the Los Angeles Lakers on their end, I don't necessarily see this as a day one improvement. I totally understand where some people are probably going to see it that way, but I don't see it that way because Luka does a lot of the things that I think LeBron already does, and if not LeBron, then Austin Reeves. So you have two questionable things of what you want to do with Luka, and the Lakers just recently put out a statement saying that they wanted to have Luka so that he could get mentored from LeBron. That leads into obviously another reason why the Dallas Mavericks traded him is because they didn't want to be tied down to another young new superstar, just like a lot of other NBA teams that gets injured and is injury prone. And one of their things that they put out was like how heavy Luka was, which I'm not gonna lie, it felt a little bit like disrespectful to just put Luka's weight out there and be like, boy's 270 pounds. We ain't gonna work with that. Like it was a little crazy, a little below the belt. Obviously, you know, that is something that they believe attributes to him getting injured, and I could totally kind of see that, and I could see them not wanting to sort of like get tied down and hope that, you know, after his injury he brings them to the NBA Finals yet again. Even though I genuinely believe he could. I think his overall offensive power that he has on the court is something to like talk about. He's genuinely one of the best players on the court when he's on. Yeah, it's a question, man. It's a question that everybody has now is like, how are the Mavericks going to do when AD comes back, and how are the Lakers going to handle Luka Doncic? And it leads, and I might be saying his last name wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong or not. But it leads to so many questions. There's so many thoughts in my head, bro. Like it literally threw me for a loop. I was watching my Knicks get beat by the Los Angeles Lakers. Unfortunately, again, I don't know what it is with LeBron and the Garden, but he done go off whenever he's in the Garden. That's a conversation for another day. And post the game, that's when I get the news that Luka got traded, and it just felt so left field. It felt like nobody could have predicted it. Nobody could have imagined that that's what was brewing behind the scenes. And it is a behind the scenes thing because they obviously confirmed that no other player had any idea that the Mavericks wanted to trade Luka, had any idea that they were interested in AD. This felt like similar to like Cat getting traded to the New York Knicks from Minnesota, where Cat was literally training in the Minnesota, gym, and then all of a sudden he gets a call that you are now a New York Knick. Very similar to that, where like a lot of behind the scenes action is happening now with these trades. It's crazy because obviously the trade deadline came in, and it just felt like they're like, screw it, let's just throw a Hail Mary, and they did, and they traded their star pupil for somebody that they could use as of right now. That brings me into the conversation again as to what this does for the Los Angeles Lakers, because it's pretty paint and clear what this does for the Dallas Mavericks. Pretty obvious what they were going for. I mean, the GM literally came out and said that, defense wins games, and he's focused on that aspect of the team, and bringing AD definitely adds to that. So it's pretty blatant and obvious what they're doing. But for the Los Angeles Lakers to accept a trade like this, what does that do for your team? It raises a question, because The only thing that I could wrap my head around and sit on and ponder and think about is that they may be aware that Luka and LeBron could maybe cause a spark. You know what I mean? Like Kyrie and LeBron did with the Cavaliers. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe you bench Austin Reeves more so than you would like, even though he's playing phenomenal. Or they're looking to the future. This isn't like a trade that they're looking to improve their team right now, but for the future, something that they could see, they could hope Luka to improve on, and under LeBron's tutelage, get better as just an athlete, not like just a baller. Because like I mean, anybody could shoot a basketball, but who has the athleticism to back it up and be like that, like LeBron. I mean, LeBron is one of the most athletic that you could see, even though he flops a lot. And it's something that could help Luka's game, and I could see that being a thing. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Luka's going to take him to the finals first year that he's in the Lakers. I definitely don't think that that's the case. If he does, fantastic. They're going to look even better because of doing this trade. But this looks like a long-term play. This looks like a long-term move for the Los Angeles Lakers to make sure that their dynasty is up after LeBron is done. Because I don't know when LeBron's going to call it quits. But I mean, he has Bronny now on the team, and you got to think, if you're the Los Angeles Lakers owner, like, Bronny isn't going to be that new. He, at least it just right now doesn't look like he's there yet. You know what I mean? It's not to say that he's not a great player and that he won't be a great player. It's just to say that he's not there yet. And it's like I said, it's just one of those realities that you sort of have to accept it when you got him based on LeBron's good faith. You need a plan for a somewhat immediate future, and Luka definitely fits that category. So I think that's the case for the Los Angeles Lakers. That's the only thing in my brain that makes sense, because if you're trying to win a championship now, I feel like trading AD was not really the move to do. I don't know. I could be wrong there. I guess only time will tell to see how Luka does play with the Los Angeles Lakers. But man, a crazy trade regardless. I wanted to hop on and talk about it. I don't necessarily talk about sports. I mentioned it in my New Year video that I do want to do this more often. I do want to talk about sports more often. And if you liked this kind of content and you would like to see my ugly face talk about sports more often, be sure to hit that like button on this video, and also subscribe so we can reach 1,000 subscribers and I can continue to make content for you guys. With all that being said, I'm still shocked with what happened. You let me know what your thoughts are down below about this Luka trade, and I will catch you guys in the next video.
Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet, airs it out down the